Okay, so we've completed our heart unit. And again, I like to remind you guys what you have to do is some homework, and that is to make sure you understand how we have learned about the heart and how that relates to previous units and future units. Okay, so remember in your textbook there are pages called Systems Connections, and so each one of these pages will show you each organ system and how it relates to the particular organ system that you've just studied. So I would encourage you to go through your textbook, find those system connections, and start connecting what you're learning to what you learned in the past, and think forward to how you're going to use it in the future. So we have just finished learning about the heart. So I'm going to do this real briefly. Again, this is something I want you guys to start doing on your own, but again, just to remind you what you need to be thinking about. You need to think, how does the heart interact with the skin, and how does the skin interact with the heart? So it's kind of a two-way street. What are those connections? So what does the heart do? It pumps and provides the blood to the skin. We know that the skin needs blood. That's how we get our color. We know that the skin needs nutrients for it to be healthy. So that's the blood. The heart is going to provide that blood to the skin. How does the skin protect the heart? It's a protective covering. Okay, the skin allows us to regulate temperature, so we don't overheat. So when we're exercising and our bodies are getting hot, we don't want our heart to overheat. We don't need our whole core temperature to overheat. So the skin allows us to sweat. But the heart's also playing a role in that as well, because if your heart is beating, it's going to pump more blood to the skin, allow you to get rid of more heat. So think about how the heart and the skin work together in temperature regulation. So we're talking about the heart and the skeleton. Well, the skeleton, you have a thoracic cage, protects the heart, right? The heart provides the blood to keep the bones healthy. So when the heart pumps, it's going to pump blood to the bone. We know that bone is vascular, so that's a connection. The muscular system, we know that the heart is made up of muscle, right? It has its own type of muscle, cardiac muscle. The blood vessels have smooth muscle. The heart pumps blood to skeletal muscle so that skeletal muscle can contract. The skeletal muscle generates heat, which keeps our bodies warm. Our heart wants to be in a warm environment. The nervous system, heart pumps blood to the nervous system. The nervous system controls the rate of the heartbeat. We talked about how in a parasympathetic or sympathetic event, does your heart rate go up or down? So do you respond? Does your nervous system control how fast your heart beats? The endocrine system, again, you have many endocrine organs: pituitary gland, adrenal gland, thyroid. The heart provides a way to pump the blood to those endocrine organs. The endocrine organs will release hormones into the blood, and the heart will continue to pump that blood with hormones throughout the body. So those two work together. There are hormones that affect the heart. If you think about the heart, you think about blood pressure. There are certain hormones that help you control blood pressure. So you should have thought about that. That kind of goes with cardiovascular as well. So we know that the heart and the blood vessels are a pump and tube system. So the heart can pump blood through the cardiovascular system. Respiratory, very tied to the heart. The respiratory system allows you to exchange gases, and then the heart is going to pump those respiratory gases throughout the body. As you've brought oxygen into the blood, are going to need to take carbon dioxide out. The heart's going to be pumping that blood. The heart, because it's cardiac muscle, needs a lot of ATP, so the respiratory system will provide that oxygen to make ATP for the cardiac muscle to contract. Digestion, so in order for our digestive system to work, it has to have a blood flow. Our digestive system has to absorb nutrients out of the food and put it into the blood so that it can nourish the heart. The heart needs a sugar supply, glucose, to make ATP. Urinary, we know that the kidneys filter blood. Well, the heart provides the pumping power to force that blood through the kidneys so that you can filter the blood. And the kidneys make hormones that help control blood pressure. And so blood pressure is something that relates to the cardiovascular system. And reproduction. So obviously the heart will take blood to the reproductive organs so that they can do their thing, produce eggs and sperm. And then we talked about fetal development. So when you think about reproduction, think about the changes in cardiovascular flow between like a fetus and a newborn. Think about those changes, those shunts that we have, those special shunts that we have in the heart, because you don't need to use your lungs when you're a fetus. So we've talked about a lot of things, and we've included a lot of systems. So I just want you to take some time to make sure that you're spending time connecting all of these organ systems together. All right? So that's all I'm going to talk about. So take some time to do that, and be prepared for a few questions connecting everything together on your exam. Thanks a lot.